Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, welcome back to the OS Rick Project episode 88. What's up, guys? How are y'all? What you been up to? What y'all been doing? What y'all been playing? Um, Let me see. It's been a while since I last chit chatted with y'all, talked to y'all. Let me see. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? Well, I've stopped playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We'll get more into that. I started playing Helldivers 2, if you guys can probably tell from the video. And I've also picked up Persona 3 Reloaded. And I got that one from Best Buy. I had some gift certificates and I bought it dirt cheap. It was like $10 and something cents. So less than $11, I was able to get Persona, which just kind of lets you know, reminds you is that you don't have to pick up everything day one. Eventually, these games will go on sale. So I think that's going to be my strat from here on out, is just, not having to get games day one, because I mean, we've seen it all since, it's so far going on in 2024 and all last year, right? These games come out for PC, they're not optimized. You got to wait for some patches to come out, and then, and then it becomes playable. So, and they're like starting to get 70, that's like the norm for them to become $70. Unless you're Ubisoft and you want to start charging $130. But yeah, guys, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't know what happened. I got maybe to 45 hours into the game, 50 hours into the game. I just about I wrapped up Gongaga area and I was heading to Cosmo Canyon, and I thought, okay, this is gonna be awesome. And then I got right into it, and right out the gate, it's, hey, you gotta find a new chocobo. I'm like, oh, I gotta find another chocobo again. I I did this like 3 times already. Now I gotta do it again. And then it just I guess it just I think I just got burned out. I realized, you know what? Every time I go to a new zone, it's the same thing. Find where the summons are at. Find where the mana springs are at. Find where your chocobo. It becomes the same thing. It's like just checklist. Check this off the list, and it's like, yes, the combat is fun. Yes, having different materials is fun. Yes, having different abilities and team compositions is fun. Me personally, I've been enjoying Team Seventh Heaven. Cloud as main, Tifa and Barrett. I've been enjoying that team. I've been having a blast. It's really fun. Tifa is stupid good. So is Barrett. But beyond that, I mean, and Queen's Blood is not too bad. I actually have fun with it. It's, you have to, you play the card game, and then if you're losing, you could just restart, and you don't lose any cards if you do lose. And Queen's Blood is not too bad. It's not too bad. But man, every time you go into a new area, it's like, all right, everything you did before, do it again. I'm like, no, no, this isn't fun anymore, man. It just got to the point where, like, you know what? I'm gonna have to just take a break, and I'm gonna come back later, and then maybe after I put some couple hours into um, Helldivers 2, or more into Persona, then I'll come back to Final Fantasy, or after Elden Ring DLC comes back in the summer. Maybe I'll go back to Final Fantasy. But right now, dude, it's like, I don't know. I mean, look, yeah, y'all let me know how you feel about it, because I honestly, I just feel like it's just the grind is, it's not even the grind, dude. It's just the checklist. It's like it's not fun anymore. It was cool at first, but now it's like I'm sacrificing, uh, you know, fleshing out the world and making it pretty, which is nice. I'll give you that. It is pretty, but Jesus Christ, at the cost of just having to do the same thing over and over. Just, oh, and you know what the worst part is? I might have mentioned this in another podcast, guys, but it's similar to like Ghost of Tsushima, right? When you're riding along and then a bird shows up to let you know where to go next. It's like the developer saying, "Oh, you're too dumb. You're gonna miss this stuff. So we're gonna put our hand on your shoulder and guide you where to go, because we don't believe that you're gonna get." Dude, what like, why? Don't do that. Just let it become even more awesome when you find it on your own and you discover it. It's just, I don't know. I'm just getting worked, like Final Fantasy Rebirth. Like, I don't know. At this point, I don't know if you guys seen also. Um, Apparently the cells for Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, sorry, is not as well as it was for 16 or as remake, which it kind of doesn't surprise me now that I think about it, because I mean, at least remake was on both platforms. It was on PS4, right? And then they came out for PS5, and it's been out longer. And then uh Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I mean, it's only on PS5. That's the only way you're getting. And that's another thing too. It's like, Square Enix, why are you guys doing this? Why are you doing this to yourselves? Where y'all just putting it on what platform? I would be, if I was them, I would be putting on everything you can. I don't know if having a deal with Sony just so they can have you implement some sort of, like, using the haptic feedback triggers for many, like first of all, I don't even give a shit about the haptic feedback controllers. The triggers. I think it's only been done right in one game, and that was Returnal. That's it. Anything else, like, I just didn't care. It's like, oh, you could feel the tension, and like, no, dude. Like, at least with Returnal, it had a purpose. Like, it was actually, you know, um, the way you fire your guns. If you have half trigger, one thing. If you do the full pull, it does another thing. I mean, that was actually utilized properly. Everything else is just for the immersion, finger quotes, if you're just listening to the podcast. I was like, Jesus Christ, like, really, Square Enix? Like, I will put my stuff on everything I could, not just the PS5. But enough about that. What I have been playing, Helldivers 2. I've heard a lot of things about it, and I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna get it. I had some, my mom gave me some birthday money, and I was like, you know what? This is enough to buy me that game. And sure enough, I've been putting a whole bunch. I think at this point, I had it for like a week now, and I've put, I want to say, 20 plus hours into it. I've been having a really good time. It's really fun. The whole loop of going in there, killing bots and bugs, and going around and exploring, and have different mission types, whether it's, escort the civilians, or whether it's, kill the bugs, kill as many bugs as you can in 15 minutes, or, go launch the ICBMs, or and then not only that though, but having little things to do, little things to explore in the longer missions, to get resources and find weapons and upgrades, and using different abilities, using your orbitals, or your eagles, or your sentry weapons. I mean, that's been really fun. It's been cool. But I have some issues with the game. Okay, guys, I gotta be fair and honest with you guys. The problem I have with I'm sorry, I'm watching my game with Helldivers 2, guys. The problems I have with it is, I don't know about you guys, but I have been having crashes, and I understand some games have crashes. It happens every once in a while, no problem. But with this one, it's not every once in a while. It's happening a lot, and and like, I'm still playing the games because I can get right back into it. But oh man, when you have all these resources collected, you're about to finish the mission, and then the game crashes and you get kicked out. Like, you spent like almost 40 minutes completing a mission just to get kicked out. Like, oh no, it's terrible. It sucks. And look, I know Arrowhead Studios is a relatively small company. They're having, they freaking caught fire, and everybody's playing the games, and I'm late to the party. But guys, y'all gotta get this fixed. Y'all gotta get this fixed. I mean, I'm having such a good time, but these issues, these crashes, and look, I don't know what it is. Maybe I mean, I looked around trying to see what some people are doing. They said, they tried changing some of the settings on the graphics, maybe lowering the graphics down to medium. And man, it's unfortunate, because this is a really good looking game too while you're playing it. I mean, all the flashes and the colors, especially when you have the auto sentry come out, and that thing is just flashing with the you got the muzzle flash going off from all the bullets being fired. I mean, it just looks ridiculously good. The lighting, the shadows, the fog, it looks great, you know. And of course, the gameplay's even more. The gameplay's even better than that, though. But like, I don't know if it's just, is it my fault because I'm rocking currently in this setup with the PC that I'm using. I'm using a for my CPU a Ryzen 5 7600X. You know, 6 cores. It's enough, you know, for gaming and stuff. And using a freak, I don't know if it's enough for Dragon's Dogma with it. And then I'm using a 4070 Founders Edition, which yes, it does have 12 gigs of VRAM, but is it the VRAM that's causing me issues? I mean, I wish the game kind of told you how much VRAM your GPU is using. I mean, that's something that Capcom has done pretty well, or Capcom has used with some of their Capcom games. They let you know how much VRAM is being used. But I don't know if it's just too much VRAM and the game is crashing because of that. But I don't believe it's that. But I've heard some people talking about some of the workarounds is lowering the graphics, which is unfortunate. But look, even then, I did that. I did that Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Friday when I had like 3 crashes back to back to back. I think it was Saturday. That's when I put everything on medium, and it seemed to be running a little bit better. Maybe that was Sunday. But even though, like I said, I've been having a really good time with the game, and I know I'm late to the party, but and honestly, I don't feel like you have to have all these, like, I don't think you've like having different type of suits for different situations is nice, but I don't feel like you need to have every single one of them. They each have some unique abilities, but I don't think there's enough there that, oh my god, if I don't have this, like, I'm going to be, you know, low tier, or I'm not going to be have a viable, you know, I'm not going to be viable to play, you know, X amount, or certain levels or something like that. You know, I feel like they're pretty useful. They have different situations and stuff like that, different abilities. But yeah, I think it's my only issue. Like, I've been having lots of fun with Helldivers, but the fact that it just crashes, it's just and I really hope Arrowhead just kind of fixes this. You know, like, don't get me wrong, I do want there to be future content to come out, but I don't want it to be at the expense of the game just being unplayable. And also the fact that even if you don't play, if everybody else, the whole community who's playing, does the objectives, when you log back in, you get medals, which is cool because you get more stuff. You could buy, you know, emotes and cloaks and helmets and armor and stuff like that. But like I said, overall, a pretty positive experience with Helldivers 2, and this is just on PC. I haven't tried it on console. Um, but yeah, it's just the crashes, man. That sucks. That's the only thing that really bothers me. Persona 3 Reloaded, guys. Persona 3 Reloaded. Enjoyed, if you enjoyed Persona 5, Persona 5 Vanilla or Royal, I think you're gonna enjoy Persona 3. It's you see a lot of what. Well, apparently, what I've been told is like a lot of stuff that is in 3 is what started the whole social links, which was was included in 4 and 5. So, you know, 3 was where it started all. So going back and seeing that, I mean, I've been having a good time, and like getting to know these new characters, and you know, and having to choose who do you want to hang out with and who the social links are, and going to explore the dungeons, and deciding whether, like, how far do I want to go, or should I turn back and replenish, or I mean, I just been having a positive time, and the music is good. I've been having fun. Like, honestly, guys, I would, and I've been playing on the PS5. I would recommend, if you are a fan of Persona 5, if Persona 5 was your first Persona like mine, and you want more, I would say hop into Persona 3 Reloaded. I've been having a really good time. And like I said, on the PlayStation 5, it's been running really well. Apparently, Atlas was using the Unreal 5 engine, and it looks phenomenal. I mean, the game loads. There's no long loading times. I'm going too fast. Sorry, guys. I'm getting so excited for Persona. There's no like extremely long loading times and stuff like that. I mean, it goes, it plays. I mean, the game's in there. You're having fun. There's no dropping frames per no drop of frames and stuff like that. It looks good. It plays good. I've been having a good time with it. So Persona 3 Reloaded, guys, I would recommend it. If you're a Persona fan, or even if you're not into it or never played one and just enjoy JRPGs, which apparently I hear that's a derogatory term now, calling it a JRPG. Stupid. But yeah, I would say give it a shot, guys. I've been having a good time with it, and I actually plan on playing that, jumping on it once I get after this podcast. What else I want to talk about, guys? Oh, have y'all seen the Fallout series on Amazon? I've seen a couple episodes. I thought it was okay. It's fine. I'm not a big Fallout fan. The only Fallout I ever played was Fallout 4, and I never even completed it. I thought it was cool. It was fine. Personally, when it comes to Bethesda, I did enjoy Skyrim more. That was the first one I played, and I did enjoy Skyrim. And that one I did play several times and have several copies on different platforms. But Fallout, I don't care. And then it's weird because you see people talking about, oh, it's a really good show, it's a good adaptation, it's fine. And then you hear some people say, no, it sucks. It just craps all over the lore. It doesn't care. It's just serving the normies. So it's like there's and as kind of with everything, right? You're always gonna hear the extremes, maybe not the extremes, but you always hear there's always gonna be someone that's gonna be vocal about it, right? So from what I gathered, I keep thinking to myself, it's like, first of all, I thought when I was younger, I was thinking, you know what, I would like to have some of my favorite video game franchises become a movie or become a TV show. I think that would be great. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't think I need that. I don't need my shows to be need any validation by being on this big screen or small screen. I think they're fine where they're at, because I know myself that I'm gonna get something that I really like, and then I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna be like, oh man, they did this wrong. Oh, they did this for the normies. Oh, they did this for they cut out so much. Like, and honestly, I just feel like I think I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't care. And the truth is, guys, these companies, these movie makers, these TV makers, these producers, I think they're trying to realize that, my age, the 40 and younger crowd, maybe a little bit older too, they know they grew up with video games. There's going to be a large install base. So they're probably going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff and start bringing, all this stuff to the screens. And honestly, it's like, yeah, I guess that's cool for some folks, but me personally, like I think I'm fine if I don't see Metal Gear turn into a web series, a TV series, or I'm fine if I never get to see, you know, well, what's another thing I like? It's one of my favorite games that I enjoy. Like if I don't see Elden Ring turn into an anime, I think I'll be fine with that. Well, actually, it's called Berserk, Rick. It's called Berserk, Rick, and you've read it. That's true. Okay, I take that back. But you're talking about, it's like it doesn't need to be, it doesn't need any validation. It's fine. But I don't know what to make of a Fallout. And like, again, some people say it's great, some people say it's no, some people say it's for the normies. Mm, I don't know. It's fine. I feel like there's just be original, make something new, right? Or get something, or just get something cool and just make it right. I mean, kind of like The Boys from Amazon. I enjoy that show. I've been having a good time with it. The Boys, not the other one, that Gen V. I didn't like Gen V. No, thank you. Um, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about like Fallout? Do you guys like it? Y'all care? Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Please sound off. What else I want to talk about, guys? Oh, I know this one. I'm a little bit late to the party, but I actually wanted to sit down and think about it before I made any comments on it. But Ubisoft. No, is it Ubisoft? Is it Ubisoft or EA? Which one's coming out with Star Wars? I think it's Ubisoft. They're coming out with Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm sure you guys probably seen the pricing already. Like, just right at the gate, it's like $70. If you pre-order it, like the deluxe version, it's like $110, and you get like different colors for your ships, 3-day early access, and like some DLC or something like that. And then if you get the super one, which is like 100 and was it $140, $130, you get all that, and they just keep piling some more extras. But the thing is, like who's honestly gonna buy this? Who's honestly gonna spend more than $70 to get day one DLC? Like this stuff is like, you guys, like does anybody remember back in the day when they used to have day one DLC and like people used to shit on that? Like, is that still not a thing? Like, because I remember that. I think that's stupid. I think that's ridiculous. Like, why are you guys still doing it? Like, why is this still allowed? And the whole 3-day early access thing, that's ridiculous. Like, if you want to like get any favor, gain any favor from your fan base, from your customers, from the people who've been buying your stuff or who are gonna buy your stuff, instead of like charging them to get it 3 days early, just release it 3 days early. It's like, why should I pay you to stress test your servers and all that stuff? And I think that's something else I want to talk about too on that game. I think I saw where you gotta have internet connection to install the game, to download the game. It's like, so why not just make it digital? Why not make it just digital? I mean, at that point, like what are we doing here? Is like I'm still a fan of having physical copies of stuff, because you know, you want to let someone borrow it or something like that. I'm still a part of that, and of course I have a house, so I have somewhere to stick it. Right? I'm sure some folks don't have that storage or space or room, but you know, I don't mind, like if someone, like if my wife's like, hey, can I borrow this copy? Yeah, sure. I mean, we did that all during the PS4 era. We both had, we each had our PS4, you know, in each room, and so you know, we just let each other borrow copies. But like you having to have internet connection just to download a game, it's like, at that point, it's like, exactly, it's like, what are we doing with physical? Like, what's the point? And even then, like that's not even like new, right? I mean, how many times do you just gotta have, you got to have a disc now just so you can get the information, just to like get the basic download, and then it has to download anyway. So it's like, and but you still got to have the disc in there just to play it, even though like most of the information is like, yes, to get downloaded. It's so freaking confusing with everything now. Like, why is it like this? Why, like, when did this become the norm? I think that's what it is. It's like, they just start taking inch by inch by inch, and we just kind of like say like, oh, it's fine, it's okay, no problem, it's no big deal, it's digital, it's fine. And then we look up, and next thing we know, you know, then you have Ubisoft execs saying, oh, players should be comfortable not owning their games. And that's how we are now. That's exactly where we're at now. It's like, now we got to pay them to play test their games and make sure it works, you know, 3 days early. We're gonna give the companies $110. I'm just tired of that. I think it's ridiculous. And I think that's another reason. That's one of the many reasons why, like I said, I told myself I'm just not buying. I'm not buying games day one anymore. They got to be fixed. They got to be working. They're not gonna run out of games. It's not gonna get removed from the storefronts. They're gonna be there, and I'll just buy it later when it's on discount or when they finally fix everything. But yeah, the Star Wars Outlaw, and another thing I want, not only but the price gouging that Ubisoft is trying to get away with Star Wars Outlaws. But you guys also hear the conversation of how they talk about how the West video game developers are uglifying the main female protagonist in their games, while in the East, you know, they keep them all hot, you know, a la, you know, Stellar Blade and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I find this conversation a little like it's a little misleading. Yes, I do see how some Western developers, lots of Western developers, get the female characters, female protagonists, and they do change their faces where they don't look as close to the actual models. Yes, that does happen with some, but I also believe that when you see some of the stills of how they compare how bad they look in game, I do feel like they cherry pick the most unflattering picture and then run with that one. Like, what's the main protagonist from Forspoken, that game that nobody played that came out last February from Square Enix? When you play as that chick, I think Freya or whatever her name is, that black girl. I honestly think she's attractive. I think she's pretty. I think the protagonist is pretty. But every time you see the picture they use for her, they get like the worst one. Like, how many times have you guys watched a YouTube video, see someone talking, and then someone comes in the room and you hit pause, and then you see their face, and they're like, they're stuck halfway through talk, and their face looks really distorted. Like, I think they just cherry pick those faces when it comes to the female protagonist and use that. Now, mind you, I mean, look at the one. What's the one that they're using for Microsoft? Is using for the new Fable? Like that chick. Yeah, she doesn't look good. Mary Jane from the latest Spider-Man. She didn't look good. Um, and you know what's also weird with female protagonists? Like, how come Deborah Wilson always looks like Deborah Wilson? They have no issue making her. They have no issue making her look like how she really is, like character for one. But the ones that have already pretty actresses, and they put them on the and then they make them the main character. Man, what happened there? That's odd. And then you see like some of the male protagonists, right? Like Keanu Reeves in in Cyberpunk. Like, man, he looks really close to actual Keanu Reeves. That's almost like a one for one. Or the dude who played Cal Kestis in the latest Star Wars games, Jedi Survivor, and I forgot the other one. But what I'm talking about, like that dude looks pretty much one for one for his character. That's kind of, like, you guys never think about that? That's kind of odd, isn't it? So I mean, there's something weird about how like these Western developers are just making the woman just like, man, you gotta, the model, your actress is already a good looking person. Like, why not just blend that in? Well, I think we know, right? They're trying to appease for a certain alphabet crowd and trying to be friendly and stuff like that. Which, look, if that's how you want to run your game, that's fine. But if people don't find them attractive, well, guess what? Who's that on? It's kind of like when you hear all these games that get made because they have a person of color and they have this and this and that, and then nobody buys it, and then they get mad at the gamers for not buying that game. Is like, I don't. First of all, that game doesn't interest me. I don't give a shit about it. And then you're mad because I didn't buy it. It's like, no, I didn't know. That's not my kind of game. Like, why would I want to support that? I don't want to buy that. So I always find that weird, right? When it's the gamer's fault. They don't understand. Okay, sure. What else do we want to talk about, guys? Oh, I saw that Supergiant Games has a early release, like limited release, technical testing for Hades 2, which I really did much enjoy Hades 1, the first one. I thought it was a really great game. That was my 2020 game of the year. I had a really good time with it. Spent lots of hours with it. So with Hades 2, I'm kind of excited for it. I just hope they I just hope that, even though, yeah, they're kind of, alphabet group friendly ally. I get it. It's fine. I mean, just look at Hermes. Look at Hermes and you're telling me that's a Greek god. But besides that, it is actually a fun game. It is a good game. It has great gameplay. So I'm just hoping Hades 2 doesn't go just too much into that and starts like talking down on me and starts hating on the patriarchy and shit like that. I'd be ugh, I just hope it's a good game. That's all. At the end of the day, if Hades 2 is a great game, that's all I'm asking for. Okay. What else, guys, do we want to talk about? I think that's about it. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to focus on a couple of things here and there that I've been thinking about. Just been wanting to rattle off with you guys. But one show that I have been watching, which was a little slow, and then I was like, oh, it actually got interesting, was Three Body Problem. I've been watching that on Netflix. I'm almost done with it, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. What I did find weird though was what Netflix was trying to sell it. When Netflix is trying to sell it, so how like a little blurb trying to talk about, describe it real quick. It's like, Georgia R. Martin fans and Barack Obama fans will like this show. I'm like, Barack Obama fans? Like, what? What the fuck does that mean? Like, Barack Obama, like, does he make TV shows or something? Does he make movies now? Am I missing something? Like, or you're trying to get like a certain political like. I just thought it was weird. I was like, okay, that's a little odd. That's fine, but I've been enjoying the show. And it's some of the D&D guys from Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know the last season was crap, but you know, Three Body Problem so far it seems interesting. It's an interesting concept. It's an interesting idea. I've been enjoying it. It's been fun, but I think that's about it, guys. I think that's about it. So, oh yeah, and honestly, Street Fighter, I just fell off of Street Fighter. I don't know. There's something about these fighting games now that I just have not been enjoying. Whether it's Tekken, at first Tekken did look pretty cool. I was gonna jump on it, and then the $70 price, and then they have a cosmetic store coming out, and then the pricing for that was kind of like oh, these guys are doing all the like. First of all, for Bandai Namco, I'm not even blaming Harada on his crew, right? It's probably more on Bandai Namco, but the whole we're gonna release a game, and then 2 weeks later we're gonna slide in this microtransaction cosmetic store. That is just because we don't want that to affect the ratings to reflect the reviews. We're gonna put the game out first, and then we're gonna put a microtransaction store for cosmetics and costumes. I'm like, oh, you guys are so dirty. You guys are so sick. It's like this is ridiculous. This is what we're having to put up with now. It's just at this point, it's like, man, I just like fighting games right now is just not in a good spot for me. Like I'm sure people are loving them, and that's great. If you enjoy them, please enjoy them. But right now, the way I see it, it's just like, nah, nah, I'd rather go just play something that I'm comfortable with. Like, I mean, I've been doing freaking lots of Elden Ring. I did another. Anyways, guys, I'm done. I'm done. Guys, thank you for listening. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are cool. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for listening. This is episode 88. I know I've been very sporadic with the release of these podcasts, but you know what? I just wait till something comes up, enough news for me to, have enough conversation and material to talk about, and then I just go off the top of my head and just let it rip and just take it from there. I'm sure there is a lot of other people there, and there is a lot of the people that are up to date. The first thing that comes out, they're on it and they're making videos, and that's great. But sometimes I gotta just wait till I get enough material, think about it, really sit and reflect and see how it affects me, what I think about it, because a lot of times you hear people, they just do stuff for the content, and honestly it's like, yeah, I want to make content, of course, but I don't want to just be clicky and just have say controversial things just to say be controversial. I want to actually like think about it and put some thought into it. And yeah, maybe I have a hot take that might be not land well. Fine, but at least I want to wait. Like, yeah, at least I waited, I thought about it. So, anyways, guys, keep playing video games, keep watching TV shows, keep exercising, eating well, have a good day, take care of yourselves. Remember to do all that stuff about like and subscribe and all that BS stuff. And if you like more of this stuff, I'm also on Twitch, so make sure you drop by because I've been playing just a whole bunch of randomness. And I promise to have another episode soon once I have some more things to talk about. Until then, check out the streams, come by, say hello, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys. Peace out. Mm-mm-mm.